Yo, what it do, people? It's your boy, John Altidor. I'm here with my dogs, Vlad and Barry. What's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on? Welcome to episode 6.
Episode 6, man. What's good, Barry?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Doing well. Can't complain. Ready for episode 6.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think it's an understatement for me to say it's going to be an exciting show today, right? There's a lot going on this week.
Yes. Ooh,
so I think the people should know that we talk to each other all the time throughout the week, but we stay away from discussing what's happening during the week so that we could save our natural reaction for the show. So I'm glad we do that because we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes, we sure do. Yes, sir.
But first, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with y'all? What y'all got going on?
Not much, man. Just hanging in there, surviving in quarantine and through this corona thing. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much same here. Hanging in there, working, surviving, quarantine and chill, and social distancing as much as I can. So yeah, keeping it simple and laid back this week. So
yeah, social distancing as much as possible. But we still are here to do the podcast, because we're trying to stay dedicated, trying to give you guys the content, what's going on throughout the weeks. You know what I'm saying? So Pro Fan Sports, follow us on social media. Catch these episodes on YouTube. Right, just go on YouTube and write in Pro Fan Sports, man. You catch a lot of content on there. So
yes, sir.
Checking out the content, subscribe. It helps out the channel tremendously. It helps us out. We're trying to get out there, trying to do our thing. So let's get it. Yeah, man. A lot going on this week, man. Number one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, what were you guys thinking when you saw the news start coming out?
Well, I had heard that I had heard rumors of that, and I just couldn't believe it at first. Well, there's so many things that come to mind, right? It's wow. Well, Gronkowski retired last year. He was crying on TV, and he was talking about how much football hurt him and how much his body was deteriorating mentally and physically, and how much the game hurt him. And when he retired, I was really happy for him. He retired right after winning his third Super Bowl. So it was good. I was like, that's good. Get out the game now before you get hurt even more. I thought it was great for him. And then hearing that he went to the Bucs, I was like, what's going on here? Did he want to retire, or did he not want to play for Bill Belichick anymore? You know what I mean? So all those thoughts is coming into my head. And now I'm thinking, now he's back and he's going to play for the Bucs. Is he going to be healthy? Is he healthy enough to play? Spending 1 year away from the game and not playing, that takes a lot out of your body, and it gives your body time to heal, but you're not used to the speed of the game anymore for a whole year. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I'm is he thinking right? Coming back after 1 year, and also you had 5, 6 injuries, 3 back surgeries, knee surgeries, arm surgeries. Are you sure that's what you want to do? So that was another thought that came to head. Another thought was, wow, Brady might win Ring 7. If he comes back and he is where he was, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago, even if he was what he was the last year with the Patriots, I think that will give Brady a shot at the Super Bowl, especially being in the red zone. I don't think they're gonna use him a lot like they would use him when he was younger, I think he might be like a third down situational kind of player, an end zone situational kind of player, and I think that'll work for him. If he's not playing like 16 games, all the snaps, he's just playing like a certain amount of snaps. I think that can work for him. And then the last thought was, yo, fuck this guy. Why did he leave? As a Patriots fan, I'm like, why did you decide to leave, or why did you decide to retire so early if you wanted to play? Like, what's the, like, you feel some kind of betrayed, like both him and Brady pairing up and moving on to like the Bucks, one of the worst team in the NFL. You feel kind of betrayed, but at the same time, I feel happy that Brady might win his 7th Super Bowl, but I feel betrayed. So it's bittersweet, to be honest.
Okay. Now I'm very curious to what Barry was thinking, because I know Barry's a big time football guy. So what was you thinking?
I was thinking, as a football fan, I was excited about the return of Rob Gronkowski and him being back in the league and back with Tom Brady and playing football again. It was definitely a bit surprising when I first did hear the news, because when he was talking last offseason, when he was announcing his retirement, it sounded like he was done with football. You know, he was emotional. It really took a beating on him from a mental and physical standpoint, and it really, it seemed to like suck the life out of him. So it was definitely, when I heard that there was chances of him coming back, I was a bit surprised. I thought he was done with football and had moved on to another chapter in his life where he was focusing on doing other things, like the WWE that he was just recently in.
I didn't know he was actually a champion in WWE.
Yeah, he was. He was a
everybody can be a
champion.
Like,
Right.
As soon as, if you got a name, you're gonna be a champion.
I hate wrestling because it's fake. It's like predetermined. So I hate it. Like, why Rob Gronkowski champion? He just suddenly he just got in. Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I think that stuff's funny. You know, it's the same situation with Ronda Rousey, but now she's like, I think she wants out or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think she's
talking about, she doesn't want to act for the fake fans. I'm like, yeah, you're trash anyway, bro. Like, you got beat up and ran away. Like,
right.
Anyway, but not to take away from what you were saying.
So no worries. So when I first had heard the news, I was like, whoa, like the Bucks are about to be a problem next year. Because now they've got Mike Evans on the outside, they got Chris Goodwin on the outside, they got O.J. Howard at tight end, they had Cameron Brake at tight end, the other secondary tight end, and now you're at Gronk. So all those guys, like, that's one hell of an offense right there, a dangerous and lethal, offense for, Tom Brady to have at his disposal for this coming season. So it's definitely an exciting thing if you're a Bucs fan or if you're, a football fan that enjoys, watching good football and, watching the best players play. So from that standpoint, I was happy that he went to join Tom Brady again, because those two guys work so well with each other, as we saw in the 9 years that Gronk was here and the 3 Super Bowls that he won, and the great things that he did for us as a New England Patriot. But, as a Patriots fan, I was definitely hurt by it. It was, unfortunate to see, him not end his career, on that Super Bowl or winning, catch that he had right at the end of that game. Back set up for Tony Michel. Touchdown. Right, that was his last reception. That was really his last play as a Patriots, his last big play. And so, as a Patriots fan, you would have, liked to see him end his career on that note as, 3-time Super Bowl champion and going out on top and going out as, one of the best tight ends that has played this game, arguably the best. So it kind of seems to like, damn, did he really like give up on us and like just not want to with us last year? Because we would have definitely been able to use him last year because we were lacking weapons and lacking playmakers.
Yeah,
to be able to make plays for Tom Brady. No one really stepped up outside of Edelman. So from that standpoint, you feel a sense of a little like betrayal and a little like, damn, like this dude like just didn't really want to play for Belichick and just got tired of playing, for the past. But and all in all, overall, I like the trade for the Bucs. I like him going to Tampa to play with Tom Brady, and I hope he has something left. It'll take certainly a little while for him to get back into football shape and get his body ready to be able to play in the league again. If he'll be able to catch up to game speed and taking those hits from those linebackers and safeties that he was taking, but I think that he'll be able to do that because they won't use him as much if due to the other weapons and other guys that they have to go to. So he'll be used more sort of like Vlad said in the red zone and in third down situations and passing situations. So he'll be a good security blanket for Brady like he was in New England. So I think it'll definitely work out for him in Tampa, and I'm looking forward to seeing that all unfold when next season starts.
Yeah, man. I think I had a lot of feelings. I think I shared the feelings, feeling of betrayal and stuff like that. I mean, I think when I heard the news, first I started hearing about, Rob Gronkowski, was thinking about coming back. You started hearing, because I think the day before that, somebody asked him, is he going to be a Buck? And he's like, look, I'm good on what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole tweet, I think you probably sent me the tweet about, him thinking about coming back to the league.
Mm-hmm.
You sent me like an update or something like that, and I went to look it up, and it said that he was talking to the Pats about unretiring, but he wanted to play for the Bucs. And I'm like, all right, man. I didn't really believe it at first, but then, dude, like, I don't know how much longer after that the deal was done. It's like the fastest deal I've ever seen in the freaking NFL. I'm like what? In one sense, I'm glad the Patriots at least got something out of it, right? We got a fourth rounder out of it, which I think we traded to the Jets or something like that in the draft. That's something we'll talk about later. But at least we got something out of it. We got a fourth rounder. Me as a person that's a Patriots fan, I'm like, this dude doesn't have anything left. Like, we've seen him, in the last games that he played for us. He was kind of like, I don't know, man. He wasn't looking too healthy. He did make those catches in the Super Bowl, but we've seen what Gronk really looks like. So we all felt like, Gronk could actually retire, and we were all okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, you took a lot of beatings. You got a lot of injuries. You were deep in the Super Bowl, for God's sake, right?
Right.
So you've earned everything you got, and damn near the best tight end in NFL history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you guys were talking about, seeing him talk about how football started to hurt him, how after the Super Bowl he had like his thigh strained or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like buckets of blood and stuff like that. I was like, damn, bro, I feel bad for this dude. I'm like, if smoking weed or whatever he's doing is what's helping him, let this dude, smoke his weed, bro.
Right.
Yo,
For real.
that's what you want to do, bro.
Go do your thing, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking, you know. But then, okay, he comes back, and then I really think about, like, as an objective person, like, yo, Rob Gronkowski, he's only like 30 years old. He's not an old guy, right? He just got a year off, right? So now his body's fresh. He lost weight, so, you know.
He's going to have to put that back on.
Yeah, he's going to have to put it back on, but, like, losing the weight kind of, like, helps you because you're not carrying all that weight, you know, throughout the year. So you lose all that weight, you're not really going hard all the time and stuff like that. So your body has time to recuperate. You know, I don't think it's unfair to say, like, he could go back to being like a real dominant force in the league. You know, the objective fan in me is like, yo, this team's about to kick some ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't kid yourself, okay? Like, if you think, oh, yeah, Rob Gronkowski don't have anything left. Brady has a security blanket now, on top of having those weapons he inherited in Tampa Bay. So it's about to be a problem regardless. Okay, it was a problem without Rob Gronkowski. Now it's like a sure thing because it's like, yo, you've never seen Brady play better without another player. Like, there was a noticeable difference in Brady's play. Like, Gronkowski's not on the field. When he's on the field, he's a completely different quarterback.
Absolutely.
And now he has that in a new place with weapons, with actual ability. So now, it's like, I think you kid yourself if you think like, yo, the Bucks are gonna go 7 and whatever, you know, 7 and 9. I'm like, bro, you're out of your fucking mind, man. Like, if you really think, like, you'd have to be the dumbest coach if you couldn't take that team with Tom Brady leading it to at least, you know, division lead or whatever, right? Conference title or whatever.
Facts.
Right? You know, regardless of being in the same conference with, like, the New Orleans Saints, I actually think their window is closed because, like, man, everybody was at their peak. And, you know, it still wasn't enough for them to make it to where they wanted to go. So, you know, I do feel, hey, man, the Bucks might be it for the next 2 years, you know, because I don't know if Brady's going to play past 45. I don't know, right? I mean, the guy has defied us already, so we'll see if he goes past 45.
You never know.
Right.
You know, at the same time, I'm like, yo, it's only a matter of time, you know. I feel like the other teams felt before Tom Brady decided to leave us, like, it's only a matter of time. He's going to go and we're going to have a chance, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's crazy, though, at 43, we're still talking about Tom Brady when Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP. I think that's
crazy.
That's crazy. Like, if you're not thinking about it like that, like.
No, it's a testament to Brady and his legacy and how hard he works and what he wants to prove in the league.
Oh, dude, I was saying this week, I was having an argument on Facebook because I still do that from time to time. I think I was on like the score or something, and they posted something about Brady. I forgot what it really was, and I think, like, I said to them, like, please don't post those who's the best quarterback ever post ever again, because, like, clearly it's the guy that people are unretiring to go play for. I'm like, the argument is, like, over. Like, you know, I thought it was over before. Now it's like,
it's over.
And then if he wins another ring, dude, dude, like, nobody's ever gonna touch that ever. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. If you think, like, last year, their season worked perfectly at the end of the year for them to get where they were at. You know what I'm saying? They were about to go on the road, and then boom, Patriots lose to Miami, and then they have home court advantage throughout. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you guys, everything worked out for you guys, okay? You know, so I'm like, we'll see next year what happens, you know? But like Barry was saying, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Rob Gronkowski does. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of Tom Brady, even though I unfollowed him on Instagram. I don't even care.
Why?
Loyalty is everything.
What?
Loyalty. All right?
Loyalty?
I have to, bro.
Are you kidding me?
Like, every other post is like about the Bucs, yo. I can't. I'm like,
Are you kidding?
I love Tom Brady too much. Like,
He's a Buccaneer now.
Listen.
He's moved on.
Let me ask you. Do you still follow your girlfriend after you break up? Hell no. So like,
It depends.
Yeah, but
you got to go.
let me tell you, she did not give me 6 championships.
Exactly. Right.
I don't know. I think it's just me. I'm just like particular with this stuff. I'm like, I can't deal with this, yo. And then, you know, he did the whole thing with Gronk. He's like, woo! He's like, I'm like, yo, unfollow. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Bro, and then Gronk posted some shit about, oh yeah, I love the Patriots Nation, but now I'm a Buck. Now I'm like, unfollow. Listen though, I unfollowed them on my personal pages. I didn't unfollow them on ProFan Sports, you know, ProFans_sports on Instagram. If you want to follow us there. I didn't unfollow them. I did not unfollow them there, but I followed them on my personal account.
John is a salty ex-girlfriend.
Yo,
that's crazy. Yo, you're a salty ex-girlfriend, bro.
Right.
I'm gonna admit it right now. I'm mad salty, bro. I'm like, I know that, bro.
You don't take breakups very well.
Yo, so you left us, right? And then you convinced like the chick I was talking to like come with you, bro. Like, yo. Yo, what is going on, man? I thought we was cool, bro. You know, listen. If I'm salty, right? Then I guess Julian Edelman is salty too because he unfollowed.
Oh, Julian Edelman should be.
Let me
tell you though. Julian Edelman should be on suicide watch.
Oh Lord.
For real though.
Oh boy.
That's a whole totally different story. But let me add a couple of things though. I wanted to add to Brady's legacy. So the only quarterback that ever left another team and went to another team and won the championship was Peyton Manning. And he only won 2 Super Bowls, right? So if Brady leaves after winning 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots and he goes to the Bucs and win a 7th, but there's nobody ever doing that ever again. You know what I mean? Not in our lifetime, for sure.
Nobody that's doing what he has now already.
Exactly.
And you went to 9 of them suckers, yo.
Right.
Like I think he went to like 30%. I'm wrong. I'm definitely wrong because like I don't know the number in my head, but I know there's a stat that's like, yo, he's gone to like 30% of the Super Bowls that's ever been played. Like 9 Super Bowls, right? Because
if you think
something, right?
If you think about it, right, so there's been 50 Super Bowls, 54 Super Bowls. 54 divided by 9, that's 6. So that's about, it's not 30, but it's like almost 10%. It's almost 10% of the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Bro, it's ridiculous, yo. Like
it's more than 10% of the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Right.
You're never going to duplicate that.
No, never.
It's like I hate the argument. So like every now and then I'll jump on the internet and definitely argue back. Like, dude, somebody told me, yo, Peyton Manning is the GOAT over Tom Brady. Yo, like
what?
Bro, like he orchestrated, like he was audibling. I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. Like literally everybody says Tom Brady. I'm like, people are retiring. This guy. What's his name? Percy Harvin talking about I had a dream I played with Tom Brady. I'm en route to unretiring. I'm like, the guy's 43. People are unretiring or thinking about unretiring to play with a 43-year-old quarterback. Let that sink in, bro. Okay.
I know. So
that is crazy.
So I just did the calculation. He went to 17% of the Super Bowl.
That's
17%.
Wow. Almost 20%.
Wow. That's unbelievable. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was I do think I wanted to talk about the Gronkowski trade and what the Patriots got for it. And I saw a lot of people saying that the Patriots should have waited, or they should have kept Gronkowski retired. They shouldn't have traded him. And I disagree. I think it's basically like found money. You didn't have the money, and then all of a sudden it appeared to you, right? So like if they didn't trade him to the Bucks, he wouldn't have gone to any other team, and they wouldn't have gotten a fourth round pick. So I think what the Patriots got for that trade is the only thing they would have gotten, because no other team would have wanted Rob Gronkowski. So I actually think the Patriots got something good out of the trade.
Well, also we can't like afford him on our team this year. Like,
I mean, he
can't
wouldn't
pay you.
he wouldn't have played for us. Even
We have no cap space.
as a retired player, he wouldn't have cost us anything. But if he become active, he wouldn't have played anyways.
Right. There was no way Rob Gronkowski was gonna play.
No.
Right. So if I'm Bill Belichick, I do exactly the same thing, because like you want to minimize distraction, which we know like he don't want no distraction. You have a brand new team. Okay, we don't want Rob Gronkowski weighing over the whole situation all year, right? Get rid of this dude. Okay, he already retired. To me, that's the other thing. That's why I feel betrayed. It feels like Tom Brady told Rob Gronkowski, "Yo, we're gonna play together again. I'm gonna leave the Patriots, and wherever I go, you're coming back."
So what Gronkowski did an interview. What Gronkowski did an interview after the trade. He said he did talk to Brady about coming back, and he said no matter where Tom Brady went, if it's a good situation, he would have went there. And he also mentioned even if he came back with the Patriots, he would have thought about playing with the Patriots. I don't buy it. I don't think that's true. I think if he did come back with the Patriots, he wouldn't have played. But he said it just to make us feel good. I think he did want to play with Tom Brady again wherever Tom Brady was gonna play.
Amen.
So wait a minute, guys. Sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
John. Just wanted to ask y'all something real quick going on what you guys just said. So you guys don't think there would have been a chance of Gronk coming back if Tom Brady did decide to resign with the Patriots and come and was still here?
I don't think so.
That's where we disagree. I think he would have came back here.
Nah.
I think if he was gonna come back and Tom Brady stayed here, he would have came back here. It's like, I don't know. That's just my gut feeling on it, But like, I just think that wherever Brady was, like you said, he was gonna play with Tom Brady. There would be no choice. You want to come back again? The dude is like 30 years old, man. Like, a lot of people talk about him like he's 45. I don't know, man.
I mean, his body might be 45.
Yo, for real.
That's what I'm saying. So I completely disagree. I don't think he would have come back. I think he said that. He's saying that because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to make you feel as though he's betraying the Patriots fans. But I don't think he would have came back. I think if Brady was to sign with the Patriots, I think he would have just stayed retired. I just don't think he wanted to play for the Patriots anymore. I don't think he wanted to play for, especially Bill Belichick. I think he just got fed up with Bill, and he did not want to play here at all. I think him saying that was just him making up, just saying that just to say it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a fair point that you bring up, Vlad. I think that I heard someone make this point on Twitter this week, saying that Gronk didn't retire from the NFL. He just retired from Bill Belichick. Which I think is a pretty good and accurate point to say the least. I think that when we knew that Rob Gronkowski retired at the age of 29 last year, we all knew that there was a good chance of him coming back to play, even if he did take a year off or some time off away from the game, just because he was still relatively young. He's 30 years old, about to be 31 next month, so he's still relatively in his athletic prime. So, but even though the injuries say otherwise, he still has, I think, a few good years left. I could still easily see him have a good 3 years, of good production where he puts up some good numbers and makes plays and can even possibly get close to being, the old Gronk, if all goes well in Tampa with the Bucs. So yeah, I also think that if Tom Brady was here, that he probably would have come back, or at least would have definitely considered it. Taken that in a good consideration. He would have thought twice and long and hard about making the decision to come back to the Pats, regardless of his feelings about Bill Belichick, because his loyalty, as he said, is Tom Brady. Like he said, that's the only quarterback that he ever wants to play for. He doesn't want to play for another quarterback other than Tom Brady. He even 2 years ago told the Detroit Lions when they tried to make a trade.
He was traded.
They said, but the Detroit had called him up and said, we're about to make a trade for you. And Gronk was like, no, I'm not going over there. I'm retired. I'm not playing anymore. I'm done with football. So, and then pretty much when he said that ended all the trade talks and the negotiations right then and there. So, that pretty much goes to show that the only, team and only place he was going to go to was wherever Tom Brady was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and even Brady had told teams that before he decided to go to the Bucs that wherever I'm going, Gronk's coming with me.
Yeah.
Since they already had those, prior discussions a couple months ago of, with Gronk possibly coming back and retiring and playing with him again.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yo, if not anything, I love their relationship, like Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady, because it's like, yo, that's my dog. Wherever I go, I'm gonna take my boy with me. So it's like,
right, it's right hand man.
A dude, it's like, yo, that's pretty dope. That their relationship is that tight. That listen, I'm gonna unretire to come back and play with you. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Regardless of us being Patriots fans, we still root for them. We hope them the best, and hope go Patriots, but.
So go Bucs as well. Fire the cannon.
Wait, no. Listen, stop it.
Nah, I'm a Bucs fan too. I like the Buccaneers. Don't get me wrong.
Don't be like Barry, okay, you guys?
I still love my
Patriots for life. We trust, okay?
I'm gonna.
Speaking of Bill, just to move on from Rob Gronkowski, I think. Listen, one last point about Rob Gronkowski. If the NFL draft wasn't this week, Rob Gronkowski is all over the news every day this week. Well, then we had the NFL draft, the first virtual NFL draft, right? What do you guys think about that?
About the draft, I thought the draft was well executed. I thought they had no glitches whatsoever. I expected, because it was on Wi-Fi, that there would have been some frozen screen, but maybe there was a couple maybe, but everything was done pretty well. I thought the commissioner did a good job. I thought the guys on TV were doing a good job. The different guys they had talking about the draft picks. The best part of the draft, I thought, was the guys at home. I think the guys at home with their parents, with their girlfriends, with their moms and dads, just being able to hug them right at home was beautiful. I think sometimes, like back to the old days when they were doing the draft at one site, it was kind of a little impersonal, but this new virtual format was actually really well produced. I didn't expect it to be that great, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Nice. Barry.
Yes, I thought the draft went pretty well, and better than I expected. I thought there were maybe going to be some technical difficulties and issues, which didn't happen, fortunately.
Yeah.
definitely am glad that it went well and went smoothly, and the Goodell, was able to, make all the picks, even though he got tired towards the end as expected, because that is quite a lot of the picks to announce. But it was certainly nice.
He got tired when the Patriots picked. That's what I saw.
You got what?
He got tired when the Patriots were picking. He was sitting on his couch.
Sitting on his couch on his reclining chair, right?
Right. If you don't put some damn pep in your set.
Right. So it was nice seeing, when they did the cutaways to, the prospects after they got drafted, being, with their, families and their, girlfriends and friends that were at their house that attended their draft party. So it was pretty cool seeing that interaction, amongst the prospects. It was certainly, cool seeing also the coaches, seeing like their homes, and there, like, everyone had a different sort of like drafting headquarters and in the office.
Techniques.
Right.
Belichick had the dog picking.
Exactly. He had his dog Nike picking. Yeah, I
thought
he was the one that picked the second round pick, which was a
we'll talk about
player.
that.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
I thought, sorry to cut you off, Barry. I thought that was Bill Belichick's a troll. Like,
For real.
He's a legit troll. Like, for every single coach or every single general manager were at their desk sitting, making sure the cameras saw them. As soon as they turn to the Patriots pick, nobody can see where Bill Belichick is. It's just a dog on a chair. He's a legit troll.
No,
that's one of the reasons why I love him.
To say the least, he had everyone thinking that his dog was the one that made that pick, since he wasn't around and nowhere to be found when they made that cutaway to his house. So I thought that was pretty funny, but it was really nice and unique to be able to see that, and it gave the draft something different.
Like a homey feel.
Exactly, which was definitely pretty cool. And, as a football fan and someone who likes watching the draft, it was certainly nice to see them do something different and them be successful doing it.
Yeah, for me, same thing with you guys. I'm glad that the draft was successful. I think they kind of learned from the NBA and their whole horse tournament. Send these guys some equipment on your own. Like, don't have them use their own phones, okay? Because I saw these draft picks, like, opening up boxes of, like, equipment from the NFL, like, my tripod, my whatever, my phone, my mic, blah, 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 and it looked like the NFL took time to, like, give these guys instructions about, like, where to place the camera kind of thing. It's like, there's no way, like, everybody just, like, situated their cameras perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Use phones, and we don't do it perfectly every time. So I'm glad that everything went smoothly as far as the production. I'm gonna hate this, but I really like the Roger Goodell situation where he was at. It looked like real comfortable in there. I'm like, dude, that's a man cave right there, bro. That's where I want to be watching the game. Like, turn that, you know what I mean? Where the popcorn?
Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, so Roger Goodell looked good. I'm really glad that they didn't do no Madden whatever simulation bullshit.
They had a little bit of that.
What do you mean?
They had a little bit of like fan. They would show They were showing the Cincinnati fans, and it was like the Madden. It was like Madden character, like.
Split screen?
The
split screen?
Yeah, no, not the split screens. They were showing like the Cincinnati fans, but it was like an animated Madden version of it.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I didn't pay attention to that anyway. But I like how everything was. I found it really funny how some of the situations in the house was, like the girlfriends being all over the draftees and the people pulling them off. Like, out of here. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not your time, you know, like, move out of the picture, you know. CeeDee Lamb, his girlfriend with the whole phone thing, he snatched it. He's like, give me that. You know,
right, yeah, I've seen that.
It ain't time to go through my DMs and shit. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I thought it was pretty cool because, like, it felt like they were us, just, like, waiting on the good news, right? Mm-hmm. Like, can you imagine, like, the pick that the Patriots made, he wasn't in the draft room, like, getting ready to cross the stage or nothing like that. He was at his house waiting on the phone, kind of like we watching it in there, like, we're watching them wait for the phone call, and it's like they're in the house watching it like we are, like, let's watch the draft. They were watching it
they're like fans,
as they were, you know, being drafted.
Right.
So, and, you know, you didn't see their reaction. You saw them getting picked before you saw their reaction. In the regular draft, you'll see, like, their reaction before the pick is made. The pick is in, you know, and you see the dudes like, oh my God, yeah, getting up already. And for the blah, 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 blah pick, you know, the Cleveland Browns pick so-and-so, and they're already walking down the damn runway. Mm-hmm. This one was like, all right, they made the pick. Now they're waiting to be notified. Like, boom. And then you got, like, the raw feelings. A lot of dudes was crying, man. But
no, for sure. It's an emotional thing when you do get drafted.
I was hating. I'm like, please shut up, bro. There's no crying in football. I was hating, but you know, it's definitely cool to see. Like, you're an instant. You just won the lottery, bro. You know, all you got to do is put in the work, and, you know, the money's yours. Like, and then all the families just realizing it. But, you know, just to put an ending to how, you know, we thought the virtual draft went. It went really well, and I'm glad it didn't have any issues. And I think other leagues should see exactly what they did and take that as an example if we have to continue doing stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
One thing I want to add is that what Goodell said, that in the future, even if the draft comes back to whatever it used to be, they're gonna try to incorporate some of the virtual aspect that they used this year in the future draft. So it'll be pretty good.
That are at home, or the guys that are like, yo, I'm just gonna be fishing when this happens. Have a camera on the damn boat, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, see their live. I like it. Just incorporate that with them. But I want to know, you guys, see any surprises with virtual draft? Any surprises?
Yeah, I had a couple of surprises. For me, the first surprise was the Lions picking a cornerback that high. They picked. Yeah, I was surprised. Even though I know Darius Slay.
Yeah, they lost Darius Slay, right? So they did need a corner.
Yeah, I know. But I thought that was way too high for a corner. And I think that's one of the reasons why they were very adamant about trading back the whole time, but nobody wanted their pick. Like, they were really trying to get rid of their pick and get more picks, but nobody bought it. But and also I was reading more on it. The coach, Matt Patricia, didn't want to pick the cornerback. He wanted to pick a defensive tackle, but the general manager wanted to pick the cornerback, so he ended up picking the cornerback.
Oh, wow, really?
So I was really surprised by that. Not that they don't need a cornerback. They need a quarterback because they lost Darius Slay, obviously. But third pick, a cornerback can be great if you hit it, right? But if you don't hit it, it's like that's
visible.
It's a big time bust.
It's a big bust. So I think if they had a chance to do it, they would have traded that pick and then pick him. I don't know, toward like the 10s. You know what I mean? Like 11 to 20, not third. So that was my first surprise. Second surprise, I think, is everybody's surprise in the whole league. Green Bay picking Jordan Love, obviously. That was like out of nowhere. Nobody
surprised, big time.
Nobody expected that. Third surprise was the Philadelphia Eagles picking Jalen Hurts. I did not expect that at all. They have a quarterback right now, and I think he's good, Carson Wentz. I actually like Carson Wentz, so for them to pick Jalen Hurts, I'm shocked. But we can expand on that a little bit more. My last surprise, it's not a surprise. I was just very critical of that. The Raiders picked three wide receivers on this draft, and I just think that was excessive.
They do weird things in the draft, man. You know John Gruden.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I'm like, John Gruden is a respectable coach. He's a Super Bowl winning coach, and for you to pick three wide receivers, like for real, like I was kind of surprised by that. And you don't have a good team. Their team needs so much help. So for them to pick three wide receivers, I was really shocked by that. I thought that was a really bad job, but I mean, I'm not like a draft expert, but that's my opinion.
Right, that was crazy. You got any
surprises? Yeah, I got a few surprises. I know a couple of them Vlad just had said, but I want to even talk about the Green Bay Packers a little bit more, because I was surprised not only was Jordan Love pick, I was surprised they didn't even draft a receiver at all or any sort of weapons for Aaron Rodgers. That to me, I'm absolutely appalled by that. Surprise would be an understatement of the year if I was to say that. Like, I can't believe that they did not get any sort of pass-catching weapons for Aaron Rodgers through the draft with as deep as this receiving class was. One of the deeper receiving classes that we've seen in most recent years. The fact that they did not get a receiver is absolutely astonishing to me. It really blows my mind that they didn't get Aaron Rodgers the help that he needed in the passing game, because he only has Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams is a very good receiver. But other than that, very limited as far as the playmakers.
They don't even have a tight end. Jimmy Graham
left and went to the Bears. Exactly. So that's another thing that they could have addressed, and they didn't address it, which, you're right, is a big-time head scratcher. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, Aaron Rodgers isn't that old. He's only 36 years old. He just led you guys to that NFC Championship game. He had a pretty good year and has shown that he's far from done and not contemplating retirement, and he can still play at a high level, especially if you get the right pieces around him. So that was the biggest surprise to me on the draft. Another surprise was, like you said, Vlad, the Eagles getting Jalen Hurts. Like, they already have their franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz. They just recently paid him big money to be the guy to lead them to their next Super Bowl and to come. And he's still young. He's only 27 years old, so he's not even really at the prime of his career yet. And the fact that you draft another quarterback is like, well, what are you doing? Like, I get it doesn't hurt to have a good backup, but and Carson Wentz is also injury prone as well. I think he's on this past year, I believe, was his first year playing all 16 games and plus the playoffs, because then over the previous years, even the year they went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, he got hurt and Nick Foles came in, and obviously we know what happened. That season with the Patriots. Right, exactly. Them being the Pats. I didn't want to mention that. Right. I didn't want to hurt it. Exactly. Right. I'm still not quite over that. So
you don't care if they only have one Super Bowl. Remember that, Eagles fans. You guys got one Super Bowl.
Just one. That's.
I have a lot of Eagles fans, friends. Mm-hmm. So like they talk trash all the time. I'm like, bro, you guys got one. Just relax.
Right.
We spotted you guys one, okay? Like,
exactly.
You have no more room. Just be quiet.
Right. No, for sure. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. So that was certainly a big surprise for me. Another surprise was the Bills drafting Jake Fromm in the 5th round. I mean, that was certainly, a surprising since they already had Josh Allen and Matt Barkley, even though I know Josh Allen is still a young quarterback and can be inconsistent and, and still has, ways to go as far as establishing himself as a franchise quarterback, since he's not the best decision maker, holds on to the ball for too long and not the most accurate. But he definitely does still have some potential to, be the guy. So, but I was still surprised that they drafted him that high. But I mean, that's not a bad pick because at least that's a guy that is not expected to start right away. You can have him as a second or third string, and he can take, a couple of years to develop and see if he can become something.
Right.
In the league. And the biggest surprise in the draft to me is I'm still trying to figure this out as we're speaking right now. Yeah. Is the New England Patriots trading out of the first round with the Chargers back to pick 37 and then them drafting a Division II safety, a D2 player.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, don't get wrong. I love the Patriots. I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm just shocked in that you would trade out of the first round. You would get 23 pick, which is a good, solid pick that they could have used to address one of their needs. And I know Bill doesn't necessarily draft by need. He has a different way of drafting, as we all know. But it's like if you if you trade out of the first round and go back to the second round to pick 37, you do all that just to draft a Division II safety who, okay, may be a nice player, but I mean, if you look at his tape, and his highlight tape on YouTube, these guys are tiny and small that he's going against, and it's like, you put the question, did he really play competition? Like he was playing against guys that are smaller than me.
Literally.
No, these guys are smaller than me. Like, I would look massive compared to, I would look like Gronk compared to these guys. Crying out loud. Like, even with glasses would probably, I'm sure, like, look like a monster compared to these guys.
I did see the highlights.
Right.
It looked like me in high school. Like, what is going on?
Right. These guys look like high school players, not even college players.
I'm sure a lot of people were surprised. For me, it was a few surprises. Definitely Jordan Love. Like, that was the biggest surprise of the draft. Like,
without question.
What are you guys doing? Okay, like, I really want to know your plan here. Okay, you have a team that was in the NFC Championship? Was that
the NFC Championship? They lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship.
Bro, you had no receivers. Okay, last year. Okay, outside of Devontae Adams. Okay, you had nobody. Like, I don't remember anybody.
Yeah, okay? Jimmy Graham, but
you had Jimmy Graham, who's a shell of himself.
Right.
Okay, you don't have anybody.
And they had a rookie that Rodgers liked a lot, but he's a rookie.
Yeah. I think I had the rookie on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Fast as hell or something like that.
But he had a decent season.
You had a good running back. I like that
running back.
He was doing work. Okay.
Right. He's nice.
You have some of the best receivers still on the board. All right. Why would you trade back up to do what you just did? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was really weird to me. What number did they pick him at?
23rd.
Like in the 20s.
23rd. 26. Sorry. 26.
And they moved up to do that.
Exactly.
Okay? And you still have, like, really good wide receivers still on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there were so many receivers. All right? That was the biggest surprise. you know, you guys said Philadelphia. Philadelphia was like a surprise to me, but then it wasn't a surprise to me because, like, who's their backup? Who's their current backup?
I don't even know.
Let me tell you, John, I completely agree with you that we don't know what their backup is. But Jalen Hurts, second round, I think the pick was the 21st pick in the second round. He's like a lot of people like Jalen Hurts. Like
Yeah.
if you're drafting him, you're drafting him not to be a backup for more than a couple of years, if that. So you're gonna if you're drafting that guy, you're drafting that guy to be your next quarterback, your next franchise quarterback. So I don't know. I don't know how you're not shocked by that. I was
shocked because the other thing too, like I shared this meme that said the QB depth chart is literally Wentz Hurts.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
saw that. Yeah, I
That's
saw
what's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Wentz really does hurt all the time, bro. Like he's injury prone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Fragile.
he's like another injury from like being out of the freaking league. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you get
straight
another
up.
devastating injury if you're Carson Wentz. What do you have on? Knee surgery?
He had a knee injury. The year that they
Like
won the
you
Super
catch
Bowl,
another
he had
one
a
of these
knee
shits, and he seems like the kind of guy who runs into injuries all the time for some reason. Like
because he's a mobile
Bro,
quarterback, right?
you
He
have
can
somebody-
play outside the pocket a lot.
exactly. Then you'll have somebody who's stuck in the pocket that really thrives when on the move all the time, right? And now he has no legs. You know what I'm saying? If anything, bro, you should have picked more offensive lines. Like, get this guy
I was
protected.
going to say that. Got him some more protection.
Okay, get this guy protected.
Right.
I wasn't hurt because, like, I mean, I wasn't surprised because, you know, hey, man, the guy gets hurt all the time. And, like, you need a backup plan. Like, think about all the starters in the league. There's not, you know, a lot of people that you think that you actually really need a backup for. Like, Carson Wentz could go out anytime. Who else can you say that about as a starter in this league?
that can go out anytime.
He can go out anytime. Like, a quarterback that you know that's so injury-prone, he can go out any game other than Carson Wentz.
Probably say Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, who he was out this whole, but he doesn't spend as much time out as Carson Wentz.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's early in his career too. Cam Newton is taking him some time to actually miss a whole season or half a season, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody right now. But when you have a quarterback as good as Carson Wentz, I feel as though you want to spend your draft capitals on somebody else.
No, listen, don't get me wrong. I love Carson
Like
Wentz.
if I wanted to get a backup for Carson Wentz, just in case he get injured, I would have picked Jameis Winston.
Whew.
Not that I like Jameis Winston.
He did sign actually,
boy.
He did sign that deal with the Saints, right? That 1 year deal.
Not that I like Jameis Winston, just because at least he has started in the league and he's gonna be a backup, which the Saints just signed him. If I wanted to get a backup for my injury-prone quarterback, I would have just signed somebody that's in the league already. Jameis Winston throws a lot of interception, but if he's coming in for a couple of games, in the meantime, I would have picked him.
I mean,
not spend my second round on a guy that could possibly start in the NFL.
listen, if I liked it, man. All right, like if you have a team that the quarterback, you know, is iffy, and this guy to me is a first round quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like you could justify him going in the first round, like Jalen Hurts. Like the guy came from a big school, big time performer, Heisman Trophy candidate, like year in and year out when he's starting. So like, you know, if you're really thinking about your team, like we're doing it, you know, for the team. This was for the betterment of the team. It's like you can't really blame them, you know, because your quarterback, he's what do they say all the time? Best ability is availability, and your quarterback, he's not available all the time. So, you know, If you luck out and hit it with Jalen Hurts, man, who looks like a bit bigger Russell Wilson, whatever. I don't know. It's big time, man. They definitely should have went wide receiver, they did pick a wide receiver first, right? Justin Jefferson or something like that.
They got him. Right.
It definitely was a surprise, but I wasn't that surprised. I was surprised but not surprised just because of their current quarterback situation. Another surprise was CeeDee Lamb going to the Cowboys. I'm like, bro, your defense sucks. Like, why would you pick a wide receiver right now? Like, your defense literally sucks. Your safety just signed somewhere else. Sign somebody at 17. You can find a really nice
defensive player. Oh yeah,
safety
making it
like, bro.
Oh yeah,
come on, man. But then again, like, you guys are being petty because you want to keep him away from Philadelphia. It's like, bro, do you want to help your team out or play around with Philadelphia?
Nah, that's true. That offense is stacked, though.
I think
that Prescott has.
I'm not talking about how good it looks. I'm talking about me being surprised that they did that. From where their defense was last year. I should have went defensively first.
I thought the reason why they picked him is because he was still available.
Yeah.
I think they probably
going best available.
Yeah, and I think CeeDee Lamb is such a good recruit, such a great receiver that they didn't want to pass on him. And just like Barry said, that offense is gonna be like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, for sure.
Absolutely.
He might climb the depth chart, man. I love Michael Gallup. He was in my fantasy. He gets injured too. He has a good chance of climbing up the depth chart and, possibly being number 2. Amari Cooper's good. He gets injured sometimes too. So the other thing too, Barry was talking about the Patriots. I was definitely not surprised at all, like, that they traded out of the first round. I'm like, bro, this is like every other year now. Like, you gotta do this every year. It hurts, all right? Because there are some really big names on there that the draft experts tell you to pick, and you see all the other teams picking them, and you're like, bro, come on, bro, just pick this dude. Like, because everybody was like that Murray kid, like linebacker kid,
right? Who actually ended up getting drafted 23rd
by the Chargers.
Exactly. And he was projected to get picked by the Patriots. Yeah, that's right.
I get it. I get the frustration, but I definitely wasn't surprised because it's like Bill Belichick. It's like, dude, the guy has a dog picking for him. Like, this is the same guy that picked Jordan Richards in like the second round.
Oh, God.
Lord. Bro, that was like the worst pick.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't surprised. And if you really look at it, his drafts haven't been like the greatest drafts in the last few years. Like, last year his number 1 pick was injured pretty much damn near all year.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty excited to do this year. I'm pretty excited. I haven't given up on him because he didn't play that much, and you know how Tom Brady does with no receivers. He ignores them. So I'm pretty excited to see what he does. But I wasn't surprised that they traded out of the first round. And I definitely wasn't surprised they picked some dude out of a school we've never even heard of. Like Lenore Rhymes. It's like, where, dude? Like what are you talking about? Like, I want to take this guy's like, he caught an interception and went through basically the other teams. I mean, everybody on the other team and made it to a touchdown. I'm like, that should not happen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That should not happen, but you look at him, he's an athletic freak. He hits everything moving. In the Senior Bowl, he was doing his thing. I was looking at the highlights and stuff like that. He held his own. I think cornerback's like one of the best positions that actually translate into the league. It just depends on system and things like that. So would I have liked a bigger name? Sure. But like I was telling some of my friends, like, I'm not going to question the guy with 8 rings. Like at this point, what do we do?
Yeah, but that's still a questionable pick, though.
It is.
But like, how can you still criticize that? It's hard to,
it's like, what are you doing? You know, but then like the guy has rings to like show off himself.
I'm gonna question that pick. You know why? Because Bill Belichick, the coach, is unbelievable. Bill Belichick, the GM, not so much.
Right.
Right? And also,
he drafted Rob Gronkowski, man.
So?
He drafted Tom Brady.
So?
I'm just saying, like, he's the best draft picks of all time.
Rob Gronkowski was 10 years ago. Tom Brady was 20 years ago.
Woo.
So I'm gonna question it because it's nobody expected that guy to go at that position. Nobody expected the Patriots to pick him, and Bill Belichick always want to outsmart people, and sometimes he does, and I hope he does. Right? I hope that's a great pick.
I hope so too. I hope I'm wrong about that.
But I'm gonna question it until I see it play. So that guy he's drafted as a safety, and he's basically gonna take. I see him taking Patrick Chung's position and playing in the box and stopping the run. What?
Patrick Chung.
He is an injury-prone player. That's true.
Yeah.
His coverage skills have diminished a little bit.
Right,
the last couple of years, and I'm like, these tight ends are burning you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So I think if he succeeds, it'll be great, but definitely not a fan of the pick. And just like you guys said, a school that nobody ever heard of, a Division II school. He was men against boys, like we were saying. So I don't have the greatest hope for him, but I'm gonna cross.
I have hope for him.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna cross my fingers.
I'm not really expecting much out of him either. Right, my expectation is a second round pick. I don't think that he turn into anything right away or have immediate impact.
The last time Bill Belichick picked a secondary player in the second round, it did not work. So I don't expect this to work either. But if he does, he'll surprise me.
Hey, man. Good luck to the young man. You know, it's not every day you get drafted by the Patriots. So regardless of how we feel, you know, congratulations.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him at all.
I'm just saying, you know, congratulations, man. Welcome to the team. You know, hopefully you turn out to be the best you can possibly be. You know, bring us a couple chips. You know, now we're gonna go into the Patriots draft, and you know, we were just talking about before we go into. I know we're running on time, but did you guys have anything else to say about the Green Bay Packers picking Jordan Love? I feel as though that's such an important topic. Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is out of there in about 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't see him retiring the Packer either.
I wouldn't put it too far from him asking for a trade like next offseason. I would ask him to trade today. Bro, Patriots are waiting.
Did y'all hear those rumors?
The Patriots are waiting, bro.
Right. Did y'all hear about those rumors?
Yeah, I heard that.
About, not everyone and their mother was saying on Twitter as soon as the Packers drafted Jordan Love that, this must mean that the Aaron Rodgers is going to go to New England and become the next quarterback of the Pats. I don't see it.
I've heard of that, but I don't see that happening.
Me either. That was absurd. That was outrageous. People really saying. I don't mind if that happened, but I'm not buying that and believing that hype that there's a good chance of that happening at this point.
Fingers crossed.
Just like John is crossing his fingers, I'm crossing my fingers too, because if it does happen,
cross the fingers. Yes.
But
I'll say my prayers on that.
But I want to say that Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee's show.
Yup.
I heard about that. Yep.
The evening before, or like maybe a couple hours before the pick or something like that. and he was and basically what he said was, I hope we pick a wide receiver because we haven't picked a wide receiver in the first round for like 15 years.
Skill position player.
Exactly, for like 15 years or something like that. So he was really hoping that they would have given him a weapon to get better. So I think right now he must be pissed. He must not know what to do with himself. I'm surprised he didn't pick up the phone. Trade me right now, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm surprised he didn't do that. I don't know what they're thinking in Green Bay, because I still think that Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove, and I think he's not. I think a lot of people are comparing his situation to Brett Favre's situation back in the day. I don't think it's the same situation at all. Brett Favre was throwing picks every couple of touchdowns, and I don't think Aaron is not doing that. I think this now there's a lot more available for quarterbacks to succeed in the league and stay in the league for a long time as compared to back then. So I don't like the move that the Green Bay Packers made. It's a weird move. They must really believe in Jordan Love. Like, they must really believe in him. But yeah, but like Barry said, I do not expect Aaron Rodgers to finish his career with the Green Bay Packers. And one of the things he mentioned on the Pat McAfee show is that he would like to finish his career as a Packers. Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen unless that pick motivates him just like it motivated Tom Brady when the Patriots picked Jimmy Garoppolo. If it motivates him to get better and just be better in general as a quarterback, then maybe he'll defy the odds just like Tom Brady did with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Bill Belichick.
He doesn't.
So
he doesn't.
I think that's the other thing. Tom Brady's missing now because now, bro, you don't have that decision making of Bill Belichick anymore. You have Bruce Arians, but like
not the same.
It's not the same, bro.
Not the same.
That's true. And now, one last thing about that, I'm sure you guys have heard of this in terms of that pick, was that they were now all of a sudden expecting Aaron Rodgers to be a mentor for Jordan Love.
You better get the hell out of here.
Right, exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, what? Excuse me?
Get out of your mind.
They're expecting Aaron Rodgers to mentor Jordan Love when Aaron Rodgers still can play and is not close to retirement and wants to play into his 40s like he mentioned recently. Like, no, that's not going to work out. You're fooling yourself. You're playing yourself.
Listen, if that's what you expect, trade me now. It's like, I'm not going to train this guy to take over my job. Like, dude's only 36, bro. All right, Tom Brady's 43, and he's talking about, I want to, build my career just like Tom Brady, or build my brand. It's like, if that's the expectation, bro. Trade me now, bro. Why you messing up like this? You done messed up, man. All you have to do is get me one weapon. Exactly. One more weapon. Just make a trade. You know what I'm saying?
And he has 4 years left on his contract.
Exactly.
I thought it was only 2, man.
I thought it was 2 or 3, but
holy
4.
crap.
Exactly. Then that move is even more questionable and controversial.
Wow, that's a head scratcher.
He literally scratched his head. No, that's crazy right there, man. That's definitely crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that now that even doesn't make more sense.
Listen, I don't care how how you trying to portray yourself in the media, how you want to look like a good guy, but that doesn't seem like a situation that they're gearing up, to help you out at all. Like, you guys are not helping. You guys didn't draft a wide receiver at all, and you spent all off season with your hand, under your ass, dude. Like,
right, didn't get anything in free agency either.
What are you doing? Like,
exactly.
Emmanuel Sanders just went. Where did he go to?
To the Saints. Right. They could have picked him up. They could have gotten Emmanuel Sanders They could have got a really good number 2 receiver.
Stephon Diggs went to the Bills, bro.
Exactly. They could have made a move for him.
Imagine Stephon Diggs and Devontae
Adams.
Adams on the same team.
With Aaron Rodgers, oh, man.
You know, granted, it's the same division, you know.
Right. That's true. That's their arch rival right there. I'm sure they probably wouldn't want to trade him to their arch rival.
No, they definitely wouldn't want to do that, but I'm just like, bro, come on, man. There's guys to be had. Brandon Cooks got traded to the Texans.
Yep, they could have picked him up. They had options. You're right.
You guys
had plenty of options.
You've been sitting on your ass this whole time, bro. Okay? You know, I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers, but he definitely doesn't have a Bill Belichick on his side. So,
yeah,
you know.
He has his second year head coach.
Yeah. You know, but I wanted to get into actually the Patriots draft and what they did throughout the draft. You know, a lot of people are definitely surprised that they moved back, they moved forward, they got some head scratchers. You know, a lot of people are upset. You know, if you don't know their draft, I'm going to list them for you. Right there, their first pick, which they picked in the second round, was Kyle Duggar. He's a safety out of Lenore Rhyme. If you don't know where that is, we don't either, but that's a place in North Carolina, I believe.
I didn't even know that.
I found this out yesterday. It's in North Carolina, Lenore Rhyme. He literally looks like a boy amongst men. Just like he's just tackling everything. He's around the ball at all times. But the competition, it's like I literally saw a quarterback throw him the ball. Like, all right, it shouldn't be that easy. You know
right, exactly.
And then the second pick was Josh Uche. He's this linebacker out of Michigan. Third, Afton Jennings. He's an edge linebacker from Alabama. Then they finally addressed the tight end need with Devin Asiasi, a tight end from UCLA, who I'm hearing has the best hands in the draft. He wasn't the best tight end in the draft, but he has the best hands in the draft, which was cool. And then they actually traded up. They traded 2 draft picks to actually get this other tight end, Dalton Keene. A lot of people are comparing him to George Kittle. I don't know about that.
You guys didn't hear about
I'm just
that.
Like, relax, let him do what he do.
Right.
Then in the 5th round, the Patriots pull what they usually do, which is like surprise everybody and take picks that they shouldn't be picking. Where they pick them at is a kicker, Justin. I don't even know how I don't even know how to say his last name.
It's Wasser.
Wasser. Okay.
There you go.
Welcome to the team. We definitely needed another kicker.
We didn't have one, so we definitely
we could have, waited until the 6th round. And I heard he was like the number 3 kicker overall in the draft. But I heard he has a big leg, and you need that up here in the elements. So congrats to him. And then you got an offensive lineman, Mike Onwenu. He's like the biggest dude you'll ever see. Like, I think he has like size 38 arms or some shit like that. Like,
whoa.
What is that, bro? You got another guard who's a big guy, tall guy, Justin Herring, in the 6th round. And then the guy with the best name in the draft, I think, Cash Malua. He's a linebacker, Cash Malua.
Cash Malua.
Call me Cash, baby. And then they doubled up with a center, which I think they need. The center from Memphis is Dustin Woodard, right? I know you guys probably never heard about any of these guys, but I know as Patriots fans and as, sports fans, period, as, analytical sports watchers, how do you guys feel about it? Because I know you guys are going to look up stats and watch the highlights and all that stuff. How you guys feeling?
So I was gonna grade the Patriots graph, and I was gonna give them a C plus.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed of our 2nd round pick. I thought we were gonna pick a quarterback. We didn't pick a quarterback.
Yeah.
I was happy with the tight end picks. We got 2 tight ends, and they seem good. One has great hands. One can block, and he can catch. So I thought that was really good. I thought we got the kicker was a good pick. Even though it's a kicker, and it was the first kicker taken off the board. I thought that was good. I actually was really excited about that.
That was the first special teamer period.
So exactly. So, but I was excited that we pick a kicker because we got rid of a kicker. And Bill Belichick might not be good at picking wide receivers. He might not be good at picking cornerbacks, but he's really good at picking up kickers. So
right.
I believe in.
That's true.
I believe in that one. That's literally the only draft pick I believe in, besides the Titans. But in general, I mean, I don't know the other players. They're not all gonna make the team. So we're just gonna wait to see. My only concern is now that coronavirus is active, they're not gonna get a chance to go to rookie mini camp. They're not gonna get a chance to go to training, to go to organized team activities, OTAs. So all that is gonna take away from their development. So that sucks. But besides that, like I said, I give the pictures a C. The only thing I want to mention, which John is gonna touch on later on, they did pick up and then drafted free agent QB. His name is Jamal Smith, and I watch a little bit of highlights on him this morning. I do like his quick release. He's a little bit short. He's only 6'1". Drew Brees is 6 feet. He's like 6'1". So that's a little bit on the short side. So that's not quite good. But he's mobile. I saw highlights of him running around, scoring, running touchdowns. So I think that's good. And also he's black. And I told you guys already.
That's where you were going with this.
I told you guys already. I do like my black quarterbacks.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's me for the Patriots draft picks.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably say overall grade, if I had to give one, would be a C-. I've already talked about the second round pick, the D2 guy. I've already given my thoughts on him. I did like the two linebackers we got, though. The Michigan one I thought was good. He played with Chase Winovich, in college. They were college teammates. Yeah. So and played really well with each other. They have good chemistry. So I saw some of his kicks and highlights. And it looked pretty good. I like what I saw. As well as the linebacker from Alabama. Yeah. Looks like he's decent and he can play a little bit. I did like that they got a kicker. Yeah. They needed that. That's true. Much needed. Didn't have a kicker on the roster since Steven Gostkowski was released. Injured last year with the hip injury. Did like the tight ends. The tight ends, seem like they, could be good additions because, we needed tight ends because realistically, guys, we didn't really have any tight ends on the roster. Yeah. I don't want to see another year of Matt Lacoste and Ryan Izzo both on the New England Patriots roster next year. Exactly. Who? As my friend Kevin James would say, shout out to him. He's a big pastor and he's a guy that anytime the Pats pick someone up and he has no idea who they are, he always goes, who? That's usually a Pats fan who watches the draft like, who? Who the hell is that? Like what? Like that's not going at all. Right, exactly. There's quite a few Pats fans that have that reaction, particularly in the draft whenever the Patriots draft someone that no one knows who they are. So I thought the picks were okay overall. They drafted a couple of linemen as well. The one from Michigan. Yes, that was well needed. And the one from Memphis. Yeah. Right, and that Cash Malua, is he a linebacker? He's a linebacker. Cash Malua. Okay, cool. That's a nice name. You'll learn his name throughout the preseason. He probably gets cut. most of these guys probably aren't gonna, make the team. Some of them at least will, but some won't make the team. I'm surprised, like Vlad said, they didn't draft a quarterback or draft a receiver, even though they got those in the undrafted, free agency. They addressed those positions, with the, draft pick Jamar Smith, and they actually had just saw recently today, as a matter of fact, that they got another undrafted free agent, Michigan State, a quarterback as well. So now they have 4 quarterbacks on the roster, which is surprising since they only carry 3 at most.
Yeah.
But I feel that they, could have drafted better. The, draft picks are all right, and they at least addressed some needs on the roster. But we'll see how they pan out, and do once the training camp starts, and once they're able to start getting to work with the team. So yeah, but I feel like it could have been a better draft as well. I expected a little better from this Patriots draft as far as drafting more offensive weapons or more high impact players that can make immediate impact, because I don't know how maybe 1 or 2 guys can make immediate impact on this draft class, but I don't know how many guys are actually going to be able to do well immediately on the team next year. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, I thought it was an okay draft class.
Yeah. For me, I actually learned to stop grading the Patriots drafts a long time ago. Because it's disappointing sometimes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. You spend all this time looking at the mock drafts all year. They're like, yeah, the Patriots are gonna pick this guy. Like all the draft experts, and then Bill Belichick's like, F you, bro. Like I'm gonna do something completely different. But I get that you draft guys that fit your needs and stuff like that. It's like you can find a guy that fits your needs and that's still good, bro. Like, come on, man. I know you don't want big personalities and stuff like that, but sometimes those guys win games. You know what I'm saying? Like, he likes to go against the norm. So I've learned not to grade the stuff, grade his drafts. But I did like the picks that he made. I felt like he addressed all the needs of the team, right? Like they needed a safety. He got a safety. We lost a couple linebackers. He got a couple linebackers. Our tight end unit sucked. He got a couple tight ends,
right.
Which actually the last time he got 2 tight ends. You guys remember the last time he got 2 tight ends?
Of course.
Hernandez, right?
Yeah, buddy. So, granted, he got him in the same round, right?
No, I think Gronk was the second.
No, not Gronk and Hernandez. I'm talking about these guys.
Yeah, that's right. They were in the same round.
Yeah, he got him in like the 5th round or something like that. 10 picks with between each other.
Right.
So he drafted that, and then he went offensive line. We needed a backup center because we lost Ted Karras. He went to Miami. Our center was out all last year with blood clots and stuff like that. So I thought he addressed that, even though we don't know if he's actually going to make the team. But, unless they bring in another center to back him up, I think he might actually have a chance to make the team. Other than that, we had some less known names that are probably not going to make the team. They're kind of like camp bodies, right? Just so you can fill out your roster and things like that. Because some of these guys definitely don't make it, right? Some of these guys that get picked in the 6th and 7th round, they don't make it. But at the same time, this draft was like very important to the Patriots, because they lost a lot of pieces, and they saw something. Especially with their linebacker, Josh Uche. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about him actually being like the most athletic, linebacker in the whole draft, and he wasn't being talked about a lot. And it seems like the Patriots actually do that a lot, just pick guys that people don't really know about, but they know they're like ballers and stuff like that.
Right.
But at the same time, our system is complicated, so we don't know how fast they're going to acclimate into our system, and we don't know how well they're going to perform once they get here, right? But it seems they got some good picks. I took some time and I looked at their highlights and stuff like that, and it looks like we have some capable bodies. I like their linebackers, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like they got replacements for Collins and
Calvin
and Van Noy.
Right.
With the way they play, you got an athletic guy and you got a thumper. With a kid from Alabama. They address their needs, and we'll see how that pans out. I wish we had a full training camp so that they can get acclimated to the system, like Vlad was saying. But unfortunately, all of the team have the same situation going on. So it's right. Another team is doing what we can't do right now. It's like we're all in the same boat, so we're gonna have to learn the best as we can. I know Bill Belichick hates technology, but he has a really good technology team. So
yeah,
I mean, it seems like he has a lot of good camera guys. So hopefully,
he can put that to good use this offseason, right?
Put that to good use instead of the stuff they usually talk to us about,
Right.
Instead of the stuff they blame us, about. So hopefully they do their thing. And I enjoyed the draft. I enjoyed the second day of the draft, them making all those picks, picking for their needs. And hopefully they pan out. We definitely need them. We definitely need them to. On top of that, they got some undrafted rookies too, like you guys were saying. Jamar Smith, he's a QB. They got some wide receivers, Will Hastings and Isaiah Zuber, Sean Riley. They got some wide receivers right there. They got a cornerback, Miles Bryant. They got another tight end, Rashad Berry. So now they got at least 3 tight ends coming in.
Well, they drafted Berry?
Rashad Berry, tight end from Ohio State.
Not our Berry.
No, not him.
Not Barry one. Not Barry G Money.
Nah, come on.
Not our Berry?
No, not him. I think he's the P-Money lifestyle. Come on.
I would have really done the highlight of the P-Money lifestyle right there if I was an undrafted free agent. Yeah. That would be awesome.
And they got lastly they signed a linebacker, John Harris. I think their roster is at 87 right now, so they need 3 more players. And then they signed Marquise Lee from the Jags over the off season. He's a free agent. He was a really good player in college. He was very explosive, but he hasn't reached his potential. Overall, I think the biggest winner of the draft is Jared Stidham, man. Like, you didn't draft anybody that could remotely compete with this guy. Unless this undrafted quarterback balls out of his mind. You know what I'm saying?
Brain comes out of nowhere.
Over shit. Jared Stidham, he's the front runner for the job. He's the guy. Like you guys said, we didn't draft any quarterbacks, man, and we were linked to every quarterback you could possibly imagine. Every expert was saying, "Oh, they gotta pick Jordan Love." It's like, no, we're not. We're gonna actually trade out of the first round altogether. So have fun with Jordan Love, So, and I've heard a lot of stuff that Jordan Love is not any better than Jared Stidham is. So I think he's definitely the clear-cut winner. They just gave him some confidence, unless they're planning on starting Brian Hoyer.
I hope not.
Which is shit. So you're really tanking for Lawrence.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Or the other kid, Fields.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. I think as far as the Patriots goes, Jared Stidham is the winner just because they didn't draft his replacement or his competition. But I'm hopeful for Jamar Smith. So we'll see.
Make the roster or hopeful he gets the start?
I'm hopeful that he blows our minds away. That he.
Oh, wow. Okay.
High hopes.
Right.
Shout out to the black quarterback.
I'm hoping he comes out of the woodwork and like, whoa, who's this little guy?
He's a young Russell.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think you're reaching there, but
I know I am reaching. I'm 100% reaching.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're talking about like what is it, Denny Etling type of stuff right there. You know, everybody thought that guy was gonna be the next guy.
Right, like, exactly.
That guy.
Right, really?
Denny Etling.
Right.
Like the 7th rounder, like
Right.
he's like, are you? Yeah, you out of your mind. Danny Etling. He was gonna be Tom Brady's replacement.
And he didn't even do that good in the preseason.
Bro, I think he ran the ball for like 87 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. His best plays were running plays. They weren't even throwing.
I was at that game, and then right before then I left the game, and then I heard I was talking to my brother. He was like, "Yo, that kid Danny Etling, he just ripped off 87 yards." I'm like, "What?" Like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm getting to my whip because getting stuck in Parker Row is no joke, bro.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know. Before we continue, I just wanted to shout out Barry because he got the new Pro Fan Sports podcast shirt right there.
Sure.
So if you want some swag and support the crew, just hit up redbubble.com/people/profansports and get yourself some gear.
That's right.
I'm also gonna put it in the podcast description on Spotify, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube as well, so that you guys can just click on the description and you can order merchandise.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Yes,
man.
Go get the
Wherever
merch.
you are.
The shirts are fire. Shirts are dope, on point. So,
Yeah.
shoot, go get your gear, guys. We got hoodies, t-shirts, we got everything on there.
We got notebooks. If you're a teacher, order some notebooks or something. No, actually, don't order some notebooks because you guys are out of a job because of the coronavirus. But hopefully we can do some giveaways and get some t-shirts.
Right, I thought they're doing online classes now. I thought all classes
Are they doing that? Are they
I
still
think
getting
so.
paid?
That's what I heard.
If you're still getting paid, get some shirts.
Definitely. Definitely get the t-shirts and the hoodies for sure.
No, they got coffee mugs too. We got mugs. We got notebooks.
Right.
Dude, we have bathroom mats. Like, whatever you want. Like,
You don't even have shower curtains?
Yo, we have shower curtains.
Right.
Stop playing.
Word.
We got merch for everybody. Moms, we got kitchenware. Get with it.
Wait, and we got stuff for the kids too.
For the babies.
Yes.
Bro.
Even for the kids.
Stop
That's
playing.
right.
We're not playing with y'all. Okay? Support the crew. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. But then
Yes,
other than that, Jameis Winston actually just signed today.
Yeah, this morning.
He's going to the Saints on a
Going
one-year
to
deal.
the Saints, man. He's going to the Saints. I think that's that should tell you something about the whole Tayshawn. What's his name? Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Yeah, that guy. Everybody's like, yo,
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, right?
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah, trade a first-round pick for him. Like, why are they signing other guys? You know what I'm saying? If they love him so much.
They just signed him for 2 more years.
He was a restricted free agent, and they also gave him a deal as well.
Right. So what do you need Jameis Winston?
Well, Jameis Winston, they're bringing in to compete with Taysom Hill to be a backup.
Why? If you like Taysom Hill so much and you don't want to trade him for a first-round pick, why did you bring in Jameis Winston? That's what I would
Because they want to have him develop and learn from Sean Payton and learn from Drew Brees, and he could potentially be the guy after Drew Brees leaves. Because remember, Drew Brees only signed that 2-year deal, and he's already got a contract with NBC Sports to be their broadcaster and commentator as soon as he's done with his playing career. So we know that Drew Brees has only gotten a couple of years left before his playing career is done in the NFL. So they want to already set themselves up where they can get the next guy to be the QB of their franchise after Drew Brees leaves, and they want to give Jameis Winston an opportunity to do that.
So you're saying Taysom Hill is not a franchise quarterback? That's
Yeah,
what you're saying.
he's not.
So that's what I'm trying to say here. Like, you like him so much and you don't want to trade him, because there was everybody was asking the question, like, why don't they trade for Taysom Hill when it comes to the pass? Why don't we trade for Taysom Hill? And the whole story was that they don't want to trade him. They think he's gonna like take over. But like, why are you trading for other guys to be your backup to compete with your backup if you like him so much? So
Can I enlighten you guys on something about Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
And I agree with you, John. If the Saints were very adamant about Taysom Hill becoming the next quarterback, they wouldn't have signed Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill is 29 years old.
Good Lord.
29 years old.
Oh, really?
I did not know that.
29 about to be
Holy
dang.
yeah, that's cool.
What are you talking about him being a franchise quarterback if he's 29 years old?
Wow.
Dang.
I did not know that. You just dropped a bomb.
Yes.
I wish I was
That's a glad bomb right there.
I wish I was like, Charlemagne the God, dropping a cruise bomb. Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that guy, I think the reason why they keep him is I think they want him to be a little bit like, I don't know.
Wildcat quarterback?
Huh?
The Wildcat quarterback?
Yeah, so he's a gadget.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's all you're going to
Exactly.
do with him. Like, the guy threw like 13 passes, bro, like his whole career. Like, what is the hype?
I think that's the only reason why they keep him, because he can throw, he can receive, he can run, and I think they want to just use him as a gadget quarterback.
If you're another team after they sign Jameis Winston, would you go after Taysom?
I'm not going after a 29-year-old quarterback, a 29-year-old backup.
Who's never started?
Yeah, so you're a backup for the rest of your life, bro.
That's crazy. And he's talking about, he just signed an extension. He's like, yo, I want to go somewhere and start. I'm like, where? Who is it?
Right.
I'm definitely curious about him. I want to see who signs him to like.
If the Patriots sign him, I give Belichick 2 years.
2 years left on his to be.
If the Patriots were to sign Taysom Hill, I give Bill 2 years before he's out of here.
Wow, huh? Really?
That's a hot.
I'm just saying because
I think Belichick stops him before that happens. He's like,
before he loses his job. Right.
I know we traded a first round pick for him, but he wasn't working, so we let him go. We did what was best for the team.
Yeah, for the betterment of the team. Yeah.
No, that's a crazy take though.
I'm just saying because that guy is 29 years old. There's no need to sign for him.
Nah, for sure.
Or do anything for him.
I can say it was definitely fun talking about the NFL. I know we took pretty much the whole time talking about the NFL because we feel like it was a huge thing. It's the only sport we have to actually talk about right now that's actually active and doing things, and the draft was freaking beautiful. So we felt like we had to talk to you guys and inform you guys about everything. But other than that, you guys checked the Last Dance. We're gonna switch to NBA. You guys checked the Last Dance?
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah?
Yes, sure did. Last Dance was awesome. Oh, loved it. Yeah, it was great stuff for sure. It was really good.
For like copyright purposes, we can't talk about everything that happened in there. But is there, like, real quick, is there anything like notable that you guys felt, since watching it?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot about. I think we talked about this before. We weren't around when Jordan was playing, so it's not like we knew everything about him. But some of the big things I took away from it was the relationship between Jerry Cross, Michael Jordan, and Phil Jackson. How toxic that was, and how Jerry wanted he wanted what do you call that? He wanted praise for what he did with the team, for putting the team together. Yeah. So that was interesting. Also, Scottie Pippen, I thought he was such a great player. He was like Jordan's number 2. I don't think without him, Jordan wins as many championships. I think Jordan would have won championship, but not as many. And for him to be the 6th highest player on the team or something like that, he was getting like $2 million a year or something like that. When Jordan was getting
million, that's right.
Jordan was getting $33 million a year.
Yeah, I seen a meme that said if it had Scottie Pippen's picture on it, and said if for the low was a person. He was playing for the low.
That's crazy.
That contract was ridiculous.
He was playing for cheap money, so that was big. And then the other thing I liked too was when Jordan got injured after that first year, and they told him he couldn't play basketball, and he found a way to go back to college, and he was playing basketball without them knowing. And I thought that was like the perfect Jordan moment. Like, they told you can't play.
I've been playing the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. They told you can't play, but he's been playing the whole time because he's hungry. He wants to get better, and he just has that killer mentality that if he's not playing, he's not getting better, and he knew it. So those were a couple of things that I really liked about The Last Dance. The second part is tonight. I believe it's part 3 and part 4, so I'm excited about that, and I'll be watching that.
Yeah, catch that. Barry, go ahead.
Yes. So no, I liked both episodes 1 and 2 that came out last Sunday. They were both really good and intriguing to watch. It was quite a bit of interesting stuff. The stuff that stuck out to me was Scottie Pippen's background.
Yeah.
As far as where he came from.
He came out the mud.
Right, from Arkansas, and his family and the kind of upbringing he had. It was kind of felt bad and sad for him because he had a couple of family members that were in a wheelchair that lived in his household, one being his younger brother and the other one being his father.
Yeah.
So that kind of was interesting to learn about where he came from, and also his importance to the Bulls and their dynasty, and how great they became. It was certainly without him they're not as great as they were, and then also it kind of felt bad for him because due to the childhood that he had, the contract that they offered him was low, but he felt like he had to take it because he had to make sure that his family was taken care of, and then that he wanted that longevity as well of the contract, since it was a 7-year deal that they gave him, and he was unsure of taking that risk of not agreeing to the contract because he was going through some injuries as well. He had some back injuries that he was going through, so he from a durability standpoint, he was really not sure whether he'd be able to last throughout that contract. So, but unfortunately, it was still a well underpaid deal that should have been much more. But there were other parts like Jordan going to actually Las Vegas to get Dennis Rodman and just out of there and bring him back to the team when Dennis Rodman ended up taking a little break and needed a so-called vacation. And that was interesting that they had Michael Jordan go all the way out there to get him, to bring him back to play with the Bulls, and then the impact that he had on the team was very, significant and much needed for sure. They needed his rebounding and his toughness and his grit.
That was in last Sunday's showing.
That was towards the end of episode 2.
Oh wow, I missed that.
Yeah, so that was towards the end of the second episode. I think they briefly showed that. I think they're gonna show more of that tonight when they show episode 3 and 4. Yeah,
right, because it's more focused around Dennis, right?
Right, exactly. They talk more about him because episodes 1 and 2 was just about Scottie Pippen and Jordan and Phil Jackson and Jerry Krause. So yeah, I thought all of those, both episodes were fascinating to say the least, and and you really saw how Jordan was with his teammates and what really drove him to be great and to be the player that he was. So I think obviously we're going to see more of that with these next 2 episodes coming out tonight, episodes 3 and episodes 4. Which I'm definitely excited and looking forward to seeing when they do come out.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say too much about it. You guys covered a lot of it. One thing for me though, I thought Jordan was a little selfish. I can see why a lot of athletes, they don't want to talk about other people's contracts, like when they get questioned about it, because it's like things like that, like don't talk about my contract, bro. You know what I mean? Like when he called Scottie Pippen selfish, it's like, bro, you're getting paid like $30 million. I'm getting paid like $2 million, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think I would resent him for that. I don't know if Pippen doesn't resent him for that. Even though, career earnings, Scottie Pippen actually ended up making more than Jordan career-wise. It was still like, fair is fair. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy worked hard his whole life. He literally came out the mud because wasn't he like a janitor or something like that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought, it's a good thing. I'm glad it's on TV. Sports fan have something to tune in. So tune in tonight. I'm definitely gonna tune in to check that out because I really do like Dennis Rodman. I think he's an eccentric guy. Well, he's definitely an eccentric guy. I just, find the competitor that he is fascinating, and all the stuff that he was doing at the size that he is kind of like crazy to me. So I'm definitely going to tune in to watch it. In other news, the NBA actually made an announcement that teams in states that are their coronavirus ban has been lifted, or they are easing up on them. They're allowed to open up their practice facilities so players can go in individually, not in groups. That's still not allowed. But if players want to go in 1, 2 at a time, then that's okay. And a few staff members here and there. It's still social distancing, but I guess these guys can go in and get some work, and hopefully Massachusetts, we can ease them, the ban down soon when everything goes down, so Jason Tatum can get in and go shoot something, like we talked about last week.
Right, exactly. We need
Hopefully,
JT to get in the gym for sure.
Get you in the gym, boy. All right. Other than that, man, what would you say?
So I wanna touch up on that. So I wanna touch up on the fact that they're allowing that to happen. I just think it's a little premature.
I think it's premature too.
Yeah, I think it's a little premature. I think if you're having people going back to the facilities, there needs to be somebody there there needs to be security there. There needs to be somebody there to clean it. There needs to be somebody there to cook. There's so many things that need to happen. I think it's premature. But I wanted to touch on Jason Tatum. So when it's premature, I think they should wait till like June or something. Wait till things really calm down. Like exactly. But on Jason Tatum, so Danny Ainge was on the radio this week. He did take care of that. He did talk to Jason Tatum. And no, not Danny Ainge. Rick, the president.
Yeah.
Rick something. I forgot his last name.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he.
You know it's Rick.
Yeah, but he was on the radio.
Podcast too. So Rick, if you want to come to a podcast, Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Last week we did Gerard Mayo. This week it's Rick.
Yeah. So Rick was on the radio, and Rick said that they're taking care of Jason Tatum. He has a hoop now. He should be sure.
Finally, about time.
They shouldn't even have to order themselves, bro.
Well, let me tell you though. So Rick was talking about the Heat players didn't have hoops either. The only player that had a hoop on the Heat was
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler had to buy hoops for all the other guys.
Wow.
Oh, really?
So it's actually very common for those guys not to have hoops because they live in apartments.
They do live in luxury apartments.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so basically,
that's true.
Basically, this is like uncharted territory. There has never been a time where the player couldn't go to the team facility to work out. So they've never had to worry about that until now.
Okay.
That's funny. Shout out to Jimmy Butler for doing that because he's gone not in the league and amongst media and fans for not being the best teammate.
For real.
So no, definitely big shout out to him. That's what's up. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, and shout out to all the pro fans out there, man. If you stuck around and listened to the whole podcast, you know, we like to get in depth with everything. So if you hang on with us and listen to the podcast, then we definitely appreciate you. Share it with your friends. Like we said, we're on YouTube. You know, we got merch. We're on Instagram, ProFans_sports. We're there. We're on Facebook, ProFans. Twitter, ProFans Sports, actually. Facebook, ProFans Sports. You know, if you want to catch up with us and, you know, share your thoughts, you can email us, man. You know, profansports1@gmail.com. We usually get back to you within minutes, man. I think that's what the Facebook group says, that we get back to people within minutes. So I'm proud of that. Because we're listening to the fans, you know what I'm saying? The pro fans. All right, so you know, with that said, man, hey, thank you guys for being here. Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go. We'll catch you guys next week, right?
Sounds good.
All right.
Peace.